What's going on, guys? Zac Perna here, and today I'm going to cover the 10 mistakes that I made in my teens and something that you guys could benefit from if you're just getting into weight training as well. So let's get into it and roll the intro.
Wait, before we roll the intro, let me give a little background on myself. So for those who don't know me, my name's Zac, and welcome to my channel where I try to combine fitness with fun and entertainment. So I personally have been training for the last 9 years and have made basically every mistake you could possibly have made, from getting too fat to getting too skinny, buying too many supplements, eating the wrong foods. So I'm making this video today so you guys can learn from my mistakes and save yourself the stress.
Okay, sweet. Can we roll the intro now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sick. So guys, the other day I put up an Instagram post and I talked about the 10 mistakes that I made when I was starting out. And we got a lot of good feedback on it. There was a lot of people that were saying this was really helpful and it resonated a lot. So I thought, let's do an updated video on this and I can elaborate a little bit more. So first things first, please, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please get it done. I always forget to tell you guys, but I mean, if you want to, you can. Please like this video if you do enjoy it. Okay, that's it. Also, follow me on Instagram. Also, like every single one of my posts I've ever made. Also, comment on every single one of my posts that I've ever done. And that's it. That's all you guys have to do, and then it's happy days. Now, I do want to get into the video, guys, because knowing me, I talk for like 40 minutes. So I'm going to try and make this as punchy and snappy as possible and give you guys a lot of good take-home points and also stories from what I've gone through myself and learned the hard way. So I'm hoping by this video, you guys out there starting out can learn from my mistakes, because there's no point us all making the same mistakes, okay? Obviously. So let's get straight into it. Now, my first tip is don't fall for supplement scams. Now, this got me bad, and I'm seeing a lot of people get some as well. Now, what do I mean by this? For one, I see so many people, like young kids messaging me saying, hey Zac, does this look legit? This is this testosterone booster. What do you think about this? And just so we can all just smash this out, hit the nail on the head there. Testosterone boosters, I don't think work. I don't think they're great, don't look for them. In simple terms, guys, you can't get your testosterone above its natural level for a long time, unless you are on hormones. So if you're looking for a testosterone booster, say your test is low, the best it can be is where it should be, at a natural level. You can't keep it above a natural level for a long time. It's not a thing. So what you can do is get it up to a natural level. The reason why your test is low isn't because you're deficient in tribulus. No, it's because you're either deficient in sleep, or you're stressing too much, you have too much cortisol, or you're under eating. Now, these things can be addressed by eating more calories so you're not malnourished, getting more sleep, and relaxing more. Training hard, these are the things that you guys can do to look after your bodies and boost your testosterone naturally. Now, enough on that. I do want to talk about the supplement scams, because the other day I got a kid messaging me saying, hey Zac, is this legit or not? I can't tell. And literally I clicked on it and it was like, it just said all these names that sounded like steroids but weren't, like these words that you might have heard before, but they change them slightly and you think, oh yeah, I think that's meant to be this. It's not, okay? So anything online, guys, that looks too good to be true, guess what? It is, because these things, they are. Now, let me tell you what happened with me. When I was maybe 17, I bought CLA. So for those who don't know what CLA is, conjugated linoleic acid, I believe it's just a fatty acid. I bought a truck of it. I bought like 300 bucks of it, and I didn't have that money. It was a lot of money. I bought $300 worth of it because I saw this before and after transformation from this company and said, this is what did this is how it works. And I'm like, wow, it all sounds pretty good. And I thought, I remember actually saying this to Joel, my brother. I said, but how can they lie about that though? Like, I didn't understand. Guess what? They can. And they will repeatedly. So, and now that I know this, it really pisses me off when I see these companies do this. So with that being said, I have taken whey protein, creatine, and pre-workout since basically I first started. So if you're 15 and over, I think creatine's great. 5 grams daily, that's it. And I recommend those supplements. They're the supplements I take all the time. If you guys need the best quality, EHP Labs is the go. Code ZAC10. Guys, you know I've been with EHP for 3 years. They're literally the best supplement brand I've ever had and tasted. So if you need subs, stick with the basics. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't look for these crazy things, because if these websites are marketing you with this crazy information, disregard it. Because 99% of the time, it is a scam and they absolutely suck. So don't fall for supplement scams. Tip number 2 is don't fall for diet fads. Now, diet fads are any trending diet topic. So this could be intermittent fasting, this could be keto dieting, it's paleo, whatever it is, that it's a way of eating that tells you it's better for burning fat or one or the other. Now, this is so hard because every time I talk about this, I've got some guy who's fasted for the last 50 years and hasn't eaten a thing and loves it. And then I've got some guy who hasn't eaten a carb since 2008 and they're all saying how their way is better. So guys, this is my opinion. I've done fasting before and I believe that fasting is good because it allows you to feel like you're not dieting. So it's eating your calories in a smaller window. So instead of waking up, eating breakfast, then having lunch, then killing a fly, and then having dinner, you're waking up, you're not having breakfast, and you might just eat lunch and dinner a bit later. So for that reason, you're condensing all of your day's worth of calories into a smaller eating window. So that makes you feel like you're eating a lot more food. Mentally, that helps me. Energy levels also pretty good in the morning, but it's not magic. I don't think it's magic. I haven't experienced any other real main benefits from fasting. Yeah, you get a bit more mental clarity, but it depends on the person. It doesn't really matter. Keto, on the other hand, I've done this before. I did a proper keto diet, really high fats, low protein, and no carbs. Now, it was okay. My energy levels were good. The fat is very satiating, so I was quite full all the time. Wasn't really hungry, didn't have a lot of cravings. That was good. And that helped me eat less. Okay, so here's a little commonality here. That helped me eat less. Training actually went a little bit to shit because I was constantly feeling flat. I didn't have a lot of glycogen, if much at all, because of no carbs, and my strength suffered a little bit as well. So obviously I was in a deficit, so could have just been a deficit, but my experience with keto is that it was good for fat loss, but so is any other deficit. So the whole point that I'm trying to come back to with the diet fads thing is there is no diet that is better than the next. What is important is helping you create a calorie deficit, helping you burn more calories than you're taking in. If that's by eating between 6 and 12, do that. If that's by not eating carbs, do that. I worked at a supplement shop when I was younger, and I had a lady come in there that she created her calorie deficit through meth. And I probably shouldn't even talk about this, but dead set junkie. She came in going, yeah, well, you know, I've actually just had a little bit in the morning and then I'm good to go. And I'm like, crack, like legit. It turns out she's got bigger fish to fry than losing body fat. I mean, if she's doing that first thing in the morning, then good luck to her. But I should probably edit all this out anyway, if I keep it in, lol. My point here is that how you guys want to create an energy deficit is up to you. There is no right way, there is no wrong way. I think meth is probably the wrong way, but it just comes down to personal preference. I personally prefer to cut on a higher amount of carbs so that I can fuel my training, get crazy pumps, still feel good and still not crave food. So for me, keeping carbs in my diet is great. All of my online coaching clients, they're surprised about how many carbs I get in their diet because I always like to start on the most we can and then take out as we need to. But removing food groups altogether, macros, I don't think needs to be done unless you are intolerant. The next tip is don't set unrealistic timeframes. Now, this is big, especially in beginners. People think they can achieve results that's taken someone 5 years. They think they can do that in a matter of 8 weeks. Basically because they haven't really been there and done that. If you are training and you've been training for 5 years and 6 years, and you know how long it takes, so you don't need me to tell you this, but if you're just starting out, maybe in your first year of training, you might think it's easier than it is. It's fair enough because it is actually hard and it takes a long time and nobody wants to hear that because I remember back in the day when I heard how long it takes, I was like, nah, it's not, I blocked it out. I'm like, it's not gonna take that long, trust me, I can do it in 12 weeks. And really, looking back now, I definitely couldn't, but that kept me going and it was, you know, it gave me a bit of hope and I was like, whatever. But the bottom line is that I loved it. So even if it was gonna take me a long time, I'd still keep doing it. So that's the difference, is that you need to actually, the cliche aside, you actually do need to fall in love with the process because if you don't, you're just gonna be disappointed when you don't get the results as quick as you would expect. So muscle gain takes time, fat loss takes time, but that being said, anybody can lose body fat. And just give it long enough period of time, slow and steady definitely does win the race. It has been coming out with all the lines. Slow and steady definitely does win the meth. Crack. Now that leads me to my next point, which is don't make comparisons. This is really big, guys. And I elaborated on this a little bit more in my last post on Instagram, is that this can be applied to anything. If you want to feel really shit about yourself, compare yourself to everybody who's killing it. For me, back in the day, this was scrolling through Simply Shredded and looking at all these fitness models and thinking, wow, they're so good. For one, it made me think I could get like that. And two, it also made me feel a little bit worse about myself. So that now, in modern times, all that takes is scrolling through Instagram, is literally opening up your phone and having a scroll. You compare yourself to what your friends are doing, you compare yourself to what your idols are doing, your role models, all the fitness models, whoever it is, and it is an absolute killer because it is the one way to make you feel like you're making no progress. I guarantee if you stop comparing yourself to other people and you focus on you and doing better and improving yourself, you'll have a lot of satisfaction, you'll have a lot of pride. Like even me now, if I compare myself to people out there that are doing better than me, because they always are, I will feel like a sack of shit. But if I just focus on myself and how I've improved and worked on myself, then I'll have a bit of pride about it. I'm like, this is cool, I've done this. So that's one big thing, guys, and especially when it comes to fitness too, because it is so heavily governed by genetics. Now, you can't just be Ronnie Coleman if you wake up and decide you're gonna work hard. Unless you have the genetics of Ronnie Coleman, you can't do that. And it sucks, and it is a bit of a reality check, because some people aren't made to be the best in the world at something. You really do need to be blessed with the genetics of, hard work can only get you so far in bodybuilding. So, but that doesn't mean that you guys can't get a good physique. So that's why don't think I'm saying that. I'm just saying that I used to want to look like Ulysses, for example. That was always the example I used, because I did. Me and Joel used to think if we trained abs a little bit more, we could create another ab on top. Like I don't know why we thought it, but we did. And that was the wrong way of thinking, because I'd be trying to change my 15-year-old body to become that of Ulysses. And it's like, when you think about it now, chances of that happening are pretty low. Even now, I've been training for like 8-9 years, and I don't look like Ulysses' asshole. So it's it's just one of those things where you can't compare yourself. So don't even compare yourself to me, because I haven't got the worst genetics. I've got okay genetics. There's people with worse genetics than me, and there's people with better genetics than me. So that's the exact same. There's people, and this just applies to anything too, guys. Like, there's people that are always going to be doing better than you. That's it. But if you're always focused on them, you won't realize how good you have it, because then there's people who would be literally doing anything to have what you have or to be where you are. So that's one thing you always have to keep in mind, is that it goes both ways. You can't just look at what the good people are doing or what you aspire to be and only focus on that. You also have to look at you and how far you've come, and there's people really wanting to get to where you are. So that's a big thing too. So especially when it comes to fitness, is don't compare yourself, because like they say, that comparison is the thief of joy. And it actually is. If you want to feel shit, compare yourself. But what you have to do, and if you want to feel good and have pride and a sense of achievement of what you've done, is compare yourself to only you and how far you've gone and your own progress, and just continue to work at bettering yourself. Everyone's at their own different stage. If you're comparing yourself to everyone, you're gonna feel like a piece of shit. Now, the next tip is to learn how to train. Now, it took me maybe 5 years to actually learn how to train. I spent the first 4 years thinking I did. I spent the first 3 years training my ego, and I didn't really know how to train properly. I didn't know how to train to avoid injury. I didn't really know what the key drivers were. I would just go in and work hard. Lucky for me, I did work hard, and hard work definitely gets you places. So I built a lot of muscle just by not really knowing what I was doing, not really knowing about any programming or any fundamentals of training or proper form. I just killed it and worked hard. Problem with that is that you can open yourself up to a lot more injuries. So if you rewind maybe 2-3 years ago now, I started training with a new coach, and then he was basically saying, you train like shit. And I was like, no, I know how to train my back. And I didn't. I didn't know how to squeeze certain muscles. As like I said on Instagram the other day, is that the bench press itself isn't gonna grow your chest. What's gonna grow your chest is contracting your pecs under a heavy load, which is what the bench press allows you to do. But if you don't know how to contract your pecs, and you're taking your chest out of it entirely, you're loading your joints up with more weight than that needs to be done to isolate your chest. So it doesn't have to be an argument between form and weight. You want to find the sweet spot. So you want to get the most bang for your buck. There's no point exposing yourself to as much weight as you can possibly lift, but you're compromising all of your joints and ligaments and tendons and stuff. You don't want to do that. What you guys want to do is think of the longevity in this. You want to remain injury-free for as long as possible, while still getting the most out of our training. So it took me about a good year of literally taking all the weight back. I stripped all the weights back and started fresh of actually getting taught how to train properly. And this means you guys can't have an ego about it. You can't think, I know what I'm doing, don't tell me what to do. I literally came to an open mind and said, okay, you know more than me about this, to the coach, and I said, please tell me what to do. And then I was able to learn. So if you guys aren't ready to learn, and if somebody like corrects your form and you get real defensive, then you're not ready to learn, don't worry about it. But you guys need to have an open mind, and you gotta think, okay, I need to take a step back, learn the basics, get better at the basics, in order to improve down the track. So like I said, I stripped my weights back entirely. And then once I put the weights up again, it was so much better. I felt muscles I'd never really felt work before. And it was with a heavier load than ever. So that's a big thing, guys, is actually dedicate the time to learning how to contract, mind-muscle connection, everything. Now the next tip is to learn how to diet. Now, you probably think I do know how to diet already, isn't it really simple? And it kind of is, but what you guys need to do is dedicate some time to learning how to track your macros, learn what's in food, learn about calorie counting, learn as much as you can. I did this quite well when I was younger. I always would read articles on food, maybe because I was just a little fat kid at heart, but I would always want to educate myself on food and diet. And this did a lot for me, because I then went to use my FitnessPal, and I spent years on my FitnessPal putting in entries, weighing my food, seeing what that's like. And what that means now is that I can look at a food and literally guess very, very accurately the macros of a certain dish.
So basically, it's the worst superpower on the planet.
Just by looking at it. And that's really helpful because that means now I can intuitively eat well. And instead of just thinking, oh yeah, I just eat when I'm hungry and what I want. That means I'm basically set now. I can travel and I can eat intuitively, not have to rely on an app. So it's kind of like the weird thing where you want to get so good at using, say, MyFitnessPal or a tracker that you never have to use it again. That's like the main thing, is you don't want to become reliant and a slave to an app. People that will happily use MyFitnessPal every single day of their life and count every calorie and macro, and that's perfectly fine. But for me, I feel like the flexibility of being able to just learn about food and then know about it and then not have to track every single day is absolutely awesome. And all that's doing is giving you the knowledge you guys need. So even with all my diet plans, link in the description if you guys want to check them out, I give you guys the macros and the calories too, so that you can actually see that, use it, and then get more acquainted with actually learning about these things, so that later you can apply this to just when you're eating at a restaurant. You don't need to bring your Tupperware and scale and weigh the egg. You know what is in an egg. Crack. Now the next point is to leave your ego out of it. Now, in the first couple of years, I would probably train with my ego. So I would try to lift as heavy as possible. I was competing with that guy. I was worried about what he was looking at. And I was really trying to prove myself a little bit. And it's hard not to, especially if you're young and you're getting started into it. Everything's a competition, which is fine. But just keep in mind that it can be detrimental if you're gonna hurt yourself. So if you're gonna injure yourself because you wanna do a 1 rep max, because you wanna show off to someone, that's gonna set you back so long and you'll regret it. So in my mind, I was like, okay, well, I better stop doing this. You know, there's people that are gonna be better than me. I don't need to be the best. And that was actually quite good. After a few years of training, I learned how to eat some humble pie and be like, you know what? I don't have to be the best. I don't have to be the biggest. If somebody wants to help me and tell me what to do, that's my chance to learn. So taking your ego out of it is very, very powerful. And that also transcends beyond even the scope of gym stuff. If you can't even take advice and criticism, then you're too tied into things. People get too tied into certain ways of dieting, certain ways of training, when my biggest thing is I'll openly change my mind about things. People say, hey, you change your mind on that. And I'm not married to the belief of like low carb dieting forever. I'm married to the belief of getting better over time. So whatever helps me do that, if there's new information that comes out, if I learn more things that facilitate my goal of being better, then I'm gonna adopt that. So that's the mindset you guys need to have in fitness and outside of fitness, is not getting married to specific concepts and tying your ego and self to things. It's more like just having a bigger vision of be the best you can be, okay? How we can do that? Okay, maybe it's fitness, maybe it's something else. That's kind of the train of thought I'm getting at here, is not being specifically tied into certain things with your ego, and being able to leave your ego at the door, not make everything a competition, and actually use things as an experience to learn. Now the next tip is to train every body part evenly. Now, me and Joel learnt the hard way because me and my brother would go to the gym and we'd never train legs. And I know you guys are thinking, no way, you both have massive legs. And no, we never trained our legs. So we didn't build a foundation on the legs, because at the time we were training for any other reason a 15-year-old was training. Maybe girls, maybe a bit of confidence. You don't give a fuck about your hamstrings. I didn't think girls were looking at my glutes. I was like, don't worry about it. Just look at my abs and chest. So, and for that reason is my upper body developed a decent foundation and my legs never did. So we had to play catch up years later, trying to even out those things, and it is really, really annoying. So we were literally talking about this yesterday. We're saying, damn, if only we had smashed our legs as hard as we smashed everything else. I didn't train calves in my whole 2 years of training. I was like, why? Don't need them. I actually thought small calves looked good at one point. How misguided was I? But now if I could go back, I would definitely hit everything evenly, because then not only are you left with a more proportionate physique, but then you don't have any muscle imbalances. So on that, this is a topic I get asked a lot of questions on too. People saying, what do I do if my left pec's bigger than my right, or if this and that? One thing to know, guys, is usually you will have some imbalances to a degree. If they're very noticeable, you can do some things to fix them. So one thing is go see a chiro, get some scans done, make sure nothing's out of place. You might have had an accident a while ago that's left your spine in a contorted position and it makes you favor one side, whatever. But get that fixed, so check yourself out. And also when it comes to training, favor unilateral movements. So instead of grabbing a barbell, use dumbbells, use single arm movements, really focus on mind-muscle connection. So let's say if my left side's weak or the smaller side, I really need to give attention to this side. So I'm gonna really think about pushing with my left pec when I do dumbbells. When I'm doing a press, I'll really squeeze this as hard as I can try to feel the difference. And that goes with everything. Mind-muscle connection is key, and learn how to contract that weaker body part, because if it's weak for a reason, whether that's structurally or mentally you can't quite connect with it, but you guys need to do as much as you can to basically repair that. Now the next tip is to eat more good food. So if you're starting out, your goal is basically muscle gain, unless you're really, really overweight, in which case you can eat at a deficit, train with weights, and you'll build a bit of muscle, you'll burn a bit of fat, great. But if you are maybe skinny or skinny fat and you think, okay, I need to build muscle, great. What you guys need to do is aim to eat unprocessed foods, clean foods, so don't eat shit, eat high protein, and what you wanna do is eat a lot of it. So one thing is people underestimate how much they need to eat. The amount of kids that would tell me, oh yeah, but I'm eating enough. I wake up and have no breakfast, then I have 2 sandwiches for lunch, and then whatever mum cooks for dinner. And I'm like, stop. Your mum doesn't care about your gains. In fact, she probably wants to sabotage them because she thinks creatine's gonna make you bald. The amount of questions I get, I swear. But the point is that kids don't eat enough. So that's the problem, is that kids aren't eating enough good, nutritious foods. But really though, they're not. They are, kids just don't eat enough. They think to build muscle, you need maybe 1 shake. Or they ask me, how many shakes do I need a day? I'm like, there's no set number of shakes. Hit your protein intake, eat as much as you can. If you can't get that, you can add another shake in, doesn't matter. 2 protein shakes and no food is not gonna do anything for you. So make sure you're eating enough good food. Don't neglect your vitamins and minerals coming from your vegetables and everything. Have a wide variety of foods to make sure you're ticking all the boxes, and then adjust from there. Stick to a meal plan. If you need to eat more, if you're not gaining weight, then you can eat more. It's very, very simple. While you're doing that, you can track the calories, you can see what's in food, slowly learn about it. I understand, guys, it might be a bit daunting when you're thinking, oh, I don't know where to start kind of thing. But if that's the case, then just like I said, start by eating clean food, eat a lot of protein, maybe 1 gram per pound of body weight, use MyFitnessPal to track it, slowly increase in accordance with your results and your weight gain and how you feel. But most of the time what I've found is that people wanting to put on muscle, they're just not eating enough, and they're not eating enough good quality food. If you're eating junk and you're eating KFC, you're just gonna get fat. Trust me, I've been there, and that leads me to my next point, is don't get too fat. I believe if you want to get the most bang for your buck in terms of muscle growth, you want to eat at a calorie surplus. So let's say this is the range. Maintenance isn't a fixed number, it's a range. So let's say this is the range of maintenance that you guys need to eat to maintain your body weight. Anything less than that in this lower end is going to be fat loss. Anything more than that is going to be weight gain, fat gain and or muscle gain. So if you're eating like in the upper end of maintenance, so and maybe a little bit of a surplus, then that's perfect because you're giving your body enough energy and fuel to build, add more intensity to your training, recover, great. If you're eating way over here, you're not getting any additional recovery benefits, nor are you getting any additional intensity benefits, you're just getting the additional fat gain. So that's the little scope here, is if you're eating way down here, yeah, you're gonna burn more body fat, but you're also gonna burn more muscle. So that's why you've got to find a sweet spot. And you're thinking, how do I find that sweet spot? Trial and error. So you need to have your calorie intake. Now, this is where I'll set it for the clients and we'll see how my guys actually respond to that. Now, if they're not gaining enough weight at this point, we might increase a little bit. It's all about finding how your body responds to food and adjusting accordingly. You can't just go and find a calorie equation and then that's it, you're set, good to go. It's always your body's adapting all the time. So you need to change with it as well. So have your set intake, try it out and adjust as need be. But don't get too fat, because like I said, if you're eating way over here, way more than you need, you're just gonna get fat as hell. I've done it before, and all that means is that it's so hard to get rid of. When it comes time to cut and get rid of the body fat, you'll be like, I've been doing this for 20 weeks, and now I've lost all this muscle. Was it even worth it? And the answer is no. But if you're staying around like 10 to 15% body fat, personally, I probably would hover around 15% in like a bulking phase, but then it's not really difficult for me to get back down to a decent body fat again. It might take 12 weeks, but I've been very, very high before and I lost, I think 18 kilos in a bulk once, which is just ridiculous because all that means is that I ate way too much. If you're putting on all this fat, that's a clear sign that you have too much food. Take it back a bit and then reassess. So guys, that is it for me. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this and it didn't go for like 4 hours. I just have a lot to talk about with this stuff. So yeah, a few little plugs before we go. If you guys want to get any Gymshark, this is brand new. It's just so comfortable, so it made me think of it. New seamless tee. My link is always in the description, as well as my online coaching link for diet plans, workout plans, and EHP Lab supplements, code ZAC10. So that is all my plugs for the entirety of every YouTube video ever. And guys, that is it from me. Hope you enjoyed this too. Let me know in the comments any other mistakes you guys made or something to have a chat about, and we'll get a little discussion going. So guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this, and you definitely know what to do. Stay massive.
cutting the denims. All these sexy jeans in my section. And slide into your DMs in the PM and the AM. Then I slide into your feelings when you see just what I'm saying.